Hey guys, it's me cyoubx, and today we're going to do an old school style tutorial. Today we're going to be going over how to solve the 4x4 using the YOW method. It's not really a method as much as it is just a variation of reduction. Now there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube, and I'll link a couple of them in the description if you are interested in YOW and you want to know a little bit more about it. The only issue I have with some of the tutorials is that a lot of them really aren't that clear, and they're really broad. The way I'm going to go about this tutorial is I'm first going to tell you why you should or shouldn't learn YOW, and then I'll go over the general steps of YOW, and then after that I am just going to do 2 walkthrough solves with YOW, and so in one video you can pretty much get everything you want to know about YOW. So first of all, the YOW method is just a variation of reduction. So a lot of you who know how to solve a 4x4 probably do some sort of reduction where you solve all the centers, all 6 centers, then you do all the edge pairing, and the most popular one right now I think is either beginner's edge pairing, which is 1 edge at a time, or you do 3 2 2 2 3 edge pairing, which is what cyoubx uses. The way YOW is structured is you basically already have the cross done when you're done with the entire reduction. So instead of having to find a cross after you're done reducing the pieces, once you finish finding all the edges and pair all of them, you already have the cross done, so you can go directly into F2L. So this is really good for people who use CFOP. And so this does beg the question of whether or not you should learn YOW versus just regular old school reduction. And I have to say that it really depends on the person. Speed-wise, they both have the same potential. They can both be super fast, world-class speed, and it really does depend on the person. So let me go over that very quickly. One of the major pros of regular reduction is that the move count for centers is a lot lower than it is for YOW, and as I go through this tutorial you'll understand why that is. But with YOW the centers do take a lot of moves. Now the benefit of using YOW is that, like I said, once you're done with reduction you already have the cross solved, so you can directly go into F2L. That's something that you can't do with reduction. With regular reduction, once you're done finding the edges and pairing them, you do have to find a cross, and so that might take you a little bit longer. The other downfall of YOW is that if you're not color neutral, you have to start your centers with your cross color or the opposite one. So for me, since I do cross and white, when I do my first step of reduction, building the opposite centers, I have to do yellow or white first. And so that is definitely a downfall, because sometimes you'll have the soft center but you can't use that. So I guess the final recommendation is, if you have terrible cross to F2L transition like I do, definitely do YOW, because that eliminates that completely. After you're done with the last edges, you go directly to F2L, so you can look ahead into F2L and not worry about the cross. Now if you're decently good at cross to F2L transition, then the only pause you'll really have is just finding the cross, and that's not too big of a deal. So for YOW it's higher move count for the centers, but like I said a billion times by now, you're done with the cross after you're done with the reduction, and so you go directly to F2L. So they both have their benefits and downfalls, so I guess just try both and decide for yourself. So let me go through the general steps of YOW. The first step is you have to build opposite centers, and if you're not color neutral, you have to make sure that your first 2 centers include your cross color. So for me, I do cross on white, so my first 2 centers have to be white and yellow. It can be yellow and white, but at the end of the first step I have to have these 2 centers. The second step is to solve 3 cross color edges. So again, I do cross on white, so I'm going to solve 3 white edges, or dedges really. So I have orange here, red here, and green. It can be any 3, it could be the blue, white one as well, but you want to make sure that you solve 3 of them, and you want to leave the 4th one open. The third step of YOW is you want to solve the remaining 4 centers, making sure not to mess up the cross that you already have, and then after that you want to solve the 4th cross color edge. In this case it's red and white. So you can see now you have all the cross pieces done, centers, and now you can go directly to edge pairing. And so that is the next step. The next step is to just finish the remaining 8 edges. So you have 4 along the axis, and you have 4 above here. And this doesn't always happen, but with YOW you sometimes do get really lucky, and edge pairing for the remaining 8 is really fast, and I will go over that in the walkthrough part. And that's actually just what YOW is. It's just reduction, and it's not anything that requires algorithms. As long as you have somewhat good spatial reasoning, it's pretty much intuitive, and so the tutorial is pretty much over. but the rest of the video is just going to go over 2 walkthrough solves. I'm going to go really slowly, so hopefully you'll be able to understand it. If you have questions, obviously leave them in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them, and if you need further help, then just PM me or join my Facebook group where you can get help from other people as well. This is just a hand scramble, so you can't really follow along, but just watch the video and I think it'll be pretty clear. So the first step is to solve 2 centers. I do cross on white, so I have to do the white and yellow centers first. I see I already have this, so I will keep it, find the other yellow, pair that like this, bring it down, and then I have to do white right here. So I have the white center done and the yellow center done. So the next step is to do 3 cross-color edges, and I do this a little bit differently than some people, but it's the same idea. So I'll just tell you the difference as I get there. So I see this orange and orange first, so this is like this, and notice when I insert this edge I don't have to do some crazy thing because these centers don't matter. I can mess them up for now. Next, well, I saw the green, but blue's easier, so this is blue, white, and then since orange is here, bring it down here, blue and orange, and then I find the third edge, red and white, red and white. I didn't have to do that, I don't think. Yeah, I did. Okay, so red and white, like so, and I put it in like this. So here's the difference between what I do and what other people do. When you put in this third edge, most people, I think, like to put it incorrectly, like this. So obviously when you do the 3x3 stage, you want the red piece right here, but a lot of people put it here. And the reasoning behind this is that after you finish the remaining 4 centers and you want to insert the remaining edge, you want to move this over here and insert that remaining edge at the same time. So to demonstrate that, assume that this is like the correct edge and it goes here, and so obviously this edge is supposed to go here. So what they would do is do something like this. So it's this edge that I want to put up here. So notice when I insert it into this location, so it's back here now, this piece moves over here, and so now it's oriented correctly. You don't have to do that though, and I think my way is a little bit easier, but again, this is all intuitive, so if you think that's easier, then definitely go for it. So again, most people do it this way, where the third one is incorrectly placed, so that when you place the 4th one in, it knocks this one to the correct location. But I don't do that. I put it directly where it needs to be because it keeps things a little bit easier. So you see that this is all oriented correctly and permuted correctly too. So the next step is to build the 4 remaining centers. Now this is the most difficult part of the out. It's not hard as much as it is just awkward. And again, I do this a little bit differently than other people as well. Most people have their cross on the left, and you can certainly do that, but I like to have cross on the right because it's just a habit by now. But it's the same idea. So what you want to make sure you do is you don't want to mess up these 3 pieces. So this is called a buffer because you can turn this freely without messing anything up. Notice how this doesn't get messed up, and none of this gets messed up either. So this is your buffer, and the idea is that when you pair edges and you need to turn something, these 2 layers in general are sort of stuck together so that you can do stuff like this, okay? So as I'm doing Yao, I just look for easy centers. Blue is almost done already, last piece is here. So I do this. Notice I brought this down with me because I'm going to do this. So this was my buffer. So all of this is permutable because none of this gets messed up. So after I pair it, I bring it back up, and I have the blue center done. So if this is white and this is blue, this has to be red. So here's red. I see red right here. Notice how this buffer was with it, so that when I did a U prime, this didn't get messed up. So here's the remaining 2 pieces. Again, the buffer was here. And notice how I bring this layer down to here, because I'm going to be bringing this up so that the buffer's here. Insert the red. This has to be green, because this is red, white, green. Notice how the buffer was here. And this is something that you have to get used to. You're probably going to mess up the first few times you try Yao, but within probably like 10 solves you'll land it pretty easily. I'm saying this as if you're skateboarding, but you're not. So yeah, this green bar goes here. Bring the buffer down. Now it's back up, like so. And now you have all 6 centers done and all 3 cross, or not all 3, and 3 of the cross edges done. And now you want to finish off this edge. The other pieces right here. So all you have to do, the way I do it, since these are already placed correctly, you want to slice first. So in general, when you want to do one edge at a time, you usually pair it up, put it in the top, and then slice back. But since I already have this oriented or permuted correctly, sorry, you want to actually slice first. Position this edge to here, so that when you slice back, this is together. And then you can bring it down, and now you have all 4 cross pieces done. So from here, you want to do edge pairing. I like to do 3, 3, and whatever is left edge pairing. Sometimes there will be 2 edges left, and sometimes there will be no edges left. So I do see that this is already paired, by the way. So what I'm going to do is blue, orange, place that down. Now I see orange, green. I find the orange, green, which is back here. Bring that down, and then green, yellow, it's right here, like so. So now when I slice, you'll notice that I have 1 edge done, 2 edges done, 3 edges done. And so this is incorrect, and so when I slice back, I want to match 3 more. So here, this is blue and red. Blue and red's right here. I replace it, replace this edge, like so. This is red and yellow. I'm having trouble with colors for some reason. Red and yellow. This is orange and yellow, orange and yellow. And so now when I slice back, yay! I have those 3 done, but I also have this one done. And the reason that this one is done is because when I first started the remaining 8 edges, I saw that this was done already. And so this is what I would call 3, 3 edge pairing, I guess, because you already have the 2 done. So this is why Yao's good, because you get lucky sometimes. And so from here, since you already have cross done, you go directly to F2L. And so here's the edge, corner. I'm going to go a little bit faster here because this is just 3 by 3. And so here, corner, edge, corner, edge, already paired. And here, parity, OLL. I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind. And then PLL parity. Oops. So that is the solve. I realize the video is pretty long by now, and so I'm not going to be saying anything at the end. So if you want to stop the video and you think you already understand Yao, feel free to just leave the video, I guess. But I'm going to be doing one more walkthrough solve. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time, and so you might want to stick around in case something interesting happens with edge pairing. So first, build opposite centers. I already have these 3 here, so I might as well bring this down like so. See this bar, put it in the top, 1 piece, other piece, like so. Insert. So now I have these 2 centers done. Now I want to find edge pieces, so I'm going to first do the red and white right here. See that this is green and white, like so. And I already had this blue one done. Insert. And, oh, I actually messed up, sorry. There we go. And so now I want to do the remaining 4 centers. I see this mess of green, and the remaining green pieces up here. Buffer's already here, so I don't need to move this at all. Just match it. So buffer's here. Insert the green. This obviously has to be orange. Here's the orange bar. Here's another orange piece. That's the buffer. It becomes very intuitive after a while. So now you have the blue right here, and the buffer was here. And so now you have all the centers done and the cross done. So now you want, or 3 of them done. Now you want to build the remaining 1. And from here you can get pretty creative. I said before that you want to slice first, then you want to place these and slice back to pair these. But since this is already together, what you can do is you can just pair, bring it to the top like so, slice back, and then insert like you would on a 3 by 3 pretty much. And then you want to align the cross to the centers. So from here you want to do edge pairing. This is yellow orange, like so. Blue red, orange green. So that's 3. Now we have green and red, blue and orange, red and yellow. And so now we've done 3 and 3. So we have 2 edges left, this one and this one. So to do this, just make sure these are the same color at the top, like this, because this is just basic last two edges. Slice, edge flip. I think most of you know this, and then slice back. And then you have these two solved. From here, go directly to F2L. So cross an edge, cross an edge. I just did a U3, don't ever do that. Cross an edge. Last one. OLL parity. And then OLL. And PLL. And that's solved. So if you would like me to make a separate video for just Yao walkthrough solves, I can certainly do that, but I think those two solves are pretty much sufficient for now. I definitely suggest giving Yao a go and give it like a week, and if you don't think it's for you, then just go back to reduction, but it's at least nice to learn how to do Yao, and yeah, I recommend it if you are terrible at cross-stuff dual transition like I am. So that is the tutorial, and my computer screen just shut off, so I'm gonna go. That wasn't very good reasoning, but yeah, pretty much old school tutorial. Tell me how the lighting was in the comments below. This is a different lamp, but I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, that's it guys, and make sure to subscribe and click like, or don't. I don't care enough, I guess. I'm just kidding, I care. Please subscribe. Yeah, that's it. Toodles.